There's a lot to like about these in-ear monitors, including their affordability. Let's check them out. Dave Taylor here, and I want to talk about audio gear again. But this time I want to talk about high fidelity audiophile level gear. And if you're thinking that those super fancy devices are a little out of your price range, you might be surprised. So what I'm looking at today are these. These are the BirdDance Z3 high fidelity IEM earphones. IEM is in-ear monitor. So the way these work is it goes over your ear, and then this part obviously goes in your ear. And the other end on this particular model is USB-C, which is fantastic because you can plug this into modern computers and phones and tablets without having to worry about the fact that too darn many manufacturers have gotten rid of that 3.5 millimeter jack. No worries, you've got it covered. And it's that easy. It has an inline microphone, so you can take calls on this particular model. The company makes a bunch of different variations on the theme with different plugs and with or without the microphone, but basically pretty straightforward. Now, the units themselves, as is typical with IEMs, you can actually unplug the cable from the actual unit, the driver, and this features bamboo fiber and silk diaphragms and a dual dynamic driver. It is all metal, so this part, there's no plastic here. So the feel of this is really pretty luxe. And it has an integrated DAC, so when you plug this in, you're getting actual even better sound from your source device. And let me plug this back in. You do have to be a little careful when you plug it in because it's a very fragile pair of pins. There we go. And that should be right. And so it has those features. And as you can see, it's a twisted wire. So really it's designed for your phone to be right there or something. And then it comes with a lot of ear tips. And I will tell you, in case you haven't noticed from the packaging, there's a lot of Chinese here. In fact, this is clearly a Chinese company and a product that's primarily targeting the Chinese market, but you can buy it. You can get it yourself, and it's a remarkable price. But when I got all the different ear tips, I did have to use Google Translate to figure out what was what. It comes with a pair of memory foam ear tips, and then these green ones are bamboo melody plug, and they give you more musical detail. The white ones actually are transparent, and they're for mid to high frequencies. They talk about it for vocals and singing. And then the red ones, the ones that I actually have on the unit, are equalizing and for lower frequencies. So you get to mix and match, and other than the single pair of memory foam, each has small, medium, large in the 3 different styles. And this is actually pretty common to have different styles of ear tips that can give you slightly different sound signatures for the same device. And of course, not just size, but style, it's worth experimenting. Plug this in, plug that in, try different ones, and you can hear a difference. And so if I just plug this into my iPhone, then I'm ready to roll. It's that easy to be able to use these. And then you have that little puzzle of, all right, which one goes in which ear? But you remember it goes over your ear and then in your ear. So this is the right ear, and that's in and ready to go. And then this one's the left ear. And same thing, just sort of do it over your ear and around. And if it looks like this and it's going behind your ear, you're wearing them correctly. If you have it in some other way or the wire sitting in the front, then you have them in incorrectly and it's not going to sound very good. And I am now ready. This is all I need to do. And now I can just go and pick some music and give it a listen. And picked an interesting song by Sting, so I'm going to just pause it there. So that's sort of the functionality of them, and they do come with a little tiny travel case, so that is also nice. I think the idea is that they expect that you're going to experiment with the ear tips, find the ones that work for you, and then probably just put the rest of these in a little storage box or something, or maybe back in the original box. So it comes with this, which is perfect for travel. And then it has a user guide, and the user guide gives you some real rudimentary things. And it's interesting that it actually is in Chinese. And then the second language is English. So that gives you a little bit of a sense of their primary market, but that's okay. We have options, right? So that's the physical hardware. And the important question, obviously, is what do they sound like? And I'll tell you that they sound pretty darn good. Now, even with these equalizing ear tips, and put it this way, so you can see the Chinese writing, even with these equalizing ear tips that were supposed to give you more low frequency, there's not a lot of low frequency going on. I would say it's listenable, but it's not very prominent. You have a nice soundstage. They're very comfortable, and they work fine for a phone call or something. But if you're really looking for super precise reproduction of your music across all frequencies, then I found these were much more mid-range to high, which is pretty common for small speakers and small devices. And, you know, it was just something where I could mess with my EQ and I could add more bass to it, but it never got really bass forward. But for a lot of people and a lot of music, that's perfect. So, you know, go into this knowing what you're getting. And I will say that from a style perspective, these are fantastic. And these look like multi-$100 audiophile in-ear monitors, and they have a considerably lower price tag. So that by itself makes them pretty fun. And especially if you're listening to something with vocals or a podcast or something like that, I think these would be fantastic for that. But if you're listening to house music and you're waiting for the drop, you might still be waiting. It's just not there on the lowest of the frequencies, but it's a fun option. It's fun at, you know, something that maybe you experiment with and try this different style of ear tips and stuff. And, you know, all of the different options, it's really remarkable just how many choices you have once these show up in the mail. So that's primarily what I wanted to share. I think these are a solid option. I wish they had more bass. Maybe the next generation, the Z5 or the Z4, will have even more bass, but these are acceptable to really good depending on what kind of music you listen to. Now, we do need to talk price. I think you'll be surprised at how inexpensive they are. Before we get there, I'm going to invite you to subscribe to my channel. Click or tap on that subscribe button. Hit that bell icon for notifications of my new content, and give me a thumbs up if you found this of value. Fantastic. All right. This is the BirdDance Z3 high fidelity IEM earphones. And they come in black or silver. I'll let you guess which color these are. And they are $44.99, currently discounted down to $39.99 at Amazon.com. So for under $40, you can get these audiophile style earphones. Do they have the same quality sound you'd get from a $900 pair? No, but I mean, seriously, you shouldn't expect that. Do they sound really good for the price? Yeah, I'd say they're a pretty solid option, and they certainly have a nice high-end luxe appearance. So that's what I got. I think I'm gonna go back to Sting after all, so I'll have to catch you in my next video.